Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got the Beast. What's up, man?
How are you doing?
I'm great. Well, the reason why you're here is because of a tragedy that happened in your neighborhood, really close to home.
Unfortunately.
And you want to tell us first? You want to introduce yourself to the people and tell them who you are?
My real name's Ryan. I go by Beast2832 on TikTok. And I live in a little town called New Richmond. It's just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Now, you had a video that went viral.
Right.
And that's how I saw you on TikTok.
Right.
And you were across the street.
Yeah.
And showing a tent with teddy bears and things. So the reason is because a man went crazy and killed his sons out in Ohio.
Yep.
And that's your neighbor.
I live about 3 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
But the reason I did the video was you always see what the news shows. And it's the same clips over and over again. They'll show when it happened, but they don't really do follow-ups.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go there and basically show the people, like, here's the tent that's out there now. You're not going to see this on the news. This is where it happened. Like, this is where the bodies were found. This is where he was found. It was more like an informative type video.
Yeah. So did you ever meet this guy or this woman who lives in the house?
I've seen him in passing before. I've never actually talked to him, but I know her pretty well.
Now, she got shot in the hand trying to protect her kids, right?
Right.
It's a terrible situation.
I don't know if maybe like the first one, when he put the gun to him, if she like put her hand between the gun and his head and then he shot. I'm not sure how that went down or how she got shot to begin with.
And now, when he first got arrested, where were you when all this transpired?
I was at a softball game just about less than a quarter mile away from where it happened. I was at a softball game with my youngest daughter.
And your kids are friendly with these kids.
Yeah, and I mean, they see the kids all the time because the 4-year-old, he played on a baseball team at the same fields my daughter played softball. And so did the 7-year-old. So we would always see these kids running around and playing and stuff.
And he looked like he was emotional in the court proceeding, but when he got arrested, he was like stone faced.
Right. He was completely stoic.
Yeah. Did you see the arrest video?
Yes.
So what was it like in your neighborhood when all this transpired? When you were out, and did you hear about it when you were out and then came back to it?
What happened was when we were at the softball game, we heard all kind of sirens. And in our head, we're thinking bad wreck or something because there's a lot of those out here because it's real windy and stuff like that. And then you know how news spreads really fast. You get on Facebook and you see man just killed his 3 sons. So then, of course, everybody starts freaking out and they're trying to get information. And within 5 minutes of hearing about it, we already had a name. We knew who it was. And then some of the parents were just bawling their eyes out because like their little sons played on the same team as the 4-year-old. So it was like a tight-knit family with some of them. Yeah, right there is where he's sitting there telling the cops, don't shoot my dog, don't attack him, don't get near him.
I'm uncomfortable. Pick me up.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was insane, man. Dude.
The fact that he's sitting there saying he's uncomfortable after what he just did.
Terrible.
I mean, it had to be hard for those cops to not want to stomp his face in.
I know. It's like I don't think they really understood what was going on. Like when they first got there, I think it was too hectic and chaotic. Like,
well, if you watch the video, you see the body cam where he's doing the arrest, and then you see the second cop out there, and it's got it blurred out. There's like a black square.
Yeah, big.
That's where the bodies were. That's where the kids were found.
Wow, man.
And I guess the cop who was looking at the bodies, he's having to undergo therapy now. Because it was, I mean, as a father, I couldn't imagine being a cop showing up at the scene. You don't know what you're about to find, and that's that.
Like Sandy Hook, the cops out here, they
Exactly.
offer counseling and therapy. It's like really terrible stuff.
When it involves kids, it's just a whole different feel.
Nikki the Barber, what's up, man? Johnny Mac, how are you? Johnny Mac said this happened 10 minutes away from my house.
So he must live.
Yeah, this is one of the neighbors down the road. So do you want to explain to me that day on like what happened? You woke up in the morning and what transpired and how did this all come about? How did you find out? And
like I said, everything was fine up until the time we were at the softball fields about 4:30, and I guess this happened at 4:00
in the morning.
So, no, in the afternoon, evening.
Oh, I thought this all happened in the morning time.
No,
see, that's why I'm getting confused. So, what time exactly did you find out about all this?
I found out it was real close to like 4:45-ish.
So this happened right after people getting out of work.
Broad daylight.
Wow, I thought it happened in the morning, like
Nope.
before the day got started. And
nope.
Wow, man. And from the story that you heard, what story did you hear happen?
That I guess his wife was talking about leaving him, and he basically said, I'm going to ruin your life. And instead of killing her, he said I'll just kill the sons, and that way you'll have to suffer. And so I guess the youngest two, he lined them up in the house. He shot them. The oldest boy took off running outside to a field, and he went outside and he chased them down.
But the youngest daughter got away.
The oldest, yeah, she was the oldest kid. She's a stepdaughter. I guess once she heard everything, she took off.
They have her picture on here, but I don't really want to show it. She's a minor, and it's just like she's already going through all this stuff. There's no reason to put her out there like that. And so she ran while the guy's doing this.
Yes,
he's grabbing the sons, but she took off.
Yeah, and
went to a neighbor's, right?
If you see my video, I show where the police or the fire station is next to the house. She took off running towards them. So she goes outside and she's running down the street screaming, "He just killed my whole family." And from what I hear, a person driving by stopped and took her to the fire station real quick. And I guess that's when they called dispatch. And meanwhile, the oldest son gets away. He goes out, catches him, drags him back to the house. Now you can imagine what's going through this kid's head. He just killed my brothers. I know what's going to happen. And he did it outside too, with people driving by, neighbors outside, whatever, and shot him right in broad daylight outside. Goes inside, grabs the other two, he throws them over his shoulders, and then he lays them in the yard too. I don't know if you noticed in the arrest video, when he turns around.
I'm going to play the arrest video with the big blotches on it.
Yeah. If you notice, though, when you watch it, when he turns around, you'll see blood on the back of his shirt from where he carried one of them.
Yeah, he had blood on his arm right here, too.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. So I'm going to play your video from TikTok right now.
Okay.
People can check it out. Make sure you guys go follow him on TikTok. This is a really terrible situation, man.
It is. Even though it happened last Thursday, I can't. It still kills.
Okay, so some of you may have heard the story, some of you may not have, but Thursday, we were at a softball game for my youngest daughter, just right down the street. We heard all this commotion going on, and turns out this psychopath Chad Dorman, which this is the house right here. You can see all the stuff, teddy bears and stuff that people have left in memory for the little boys. But this guy, he brutally murders his 3 sons right here in this house. He drug them outside. One of them tried to escape, and he grabbed them and brought them back, and he shot them all execution style. There's the porch or the steps that he was sitting on when the cops got here and arrested him. But the kids were literally just laying out here in the yard. Like,
wow, man.
People say mental illness, but that's beyond mental illness. That's just straight up that's psychotic. I don't understand it. I have mental illness too, but that thought would never in a million years cross my mind. I just don't fucking get it. Yeah, that's where it happened right there. Unfortunately, that's too close to home. I just live down the street from it. This is the second tragedy like this that has happened in my little town in the last 6 months. Another family, the mom shot and killed her husband, her dad, her son, almost her daughter. She's still alive, barely.
Wow, man.
But yeah, my heart breaks for these little boys. Luckily, the oldest stepdaughter, she escaped and ran away down to there.
And you can see how close it is.
To the fire department to get help.
Like, he could have chased her easily, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow, man.
Okay, so some of you may have heard the story.
It's pretty wild, bro. Like, it's crazy. You got to deal with that. 2 in your own small town.
Yep.
2.
Yep.
Like, what are the chances of that in 6 months? Something's going on.
I don't know. And do you remember the Pike County massacre that happened?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
That was not far from here either. That's where an entire family was found dead. And it took them months to finally get a lead to figure out who it was. I think there was like 7 or 8.
Do you know what happened with that situation?
They literally an entire family from ages 50 something down to a little baby, all of them found murdered.
Did they catch the person?
Finally, yes. But it took, I mean, they were calling it the perfect crime because they had no evidence at all. Like, this was very strategic.
The world is really going crazy, man. I hope people can get it together. Like, so what do you think is going to happen to this guy in prison out there in Ohio? I've never been to prison in Ohio, but I know what happens to people like him out here in Connecticut.
Unfortunately, I have some cousins that are in prison right now. And I know for a fact that before he gets shipped out to wherever he's going to end up, he goes to general population first.
You think they're going to put him in there?
I think the guards will just kind of turn their head because, deep down, they want this guy gone as much as anybody else. Sorry.
I think him being gone would be too easy.
I do too.
Too easy. He needs to live off the rest of his life.
Right.
In prison, getting dealt with every day.
But I know that I think they won't leave him in general pop because they know he's not going to make it more than a day.
No, he had 2 handcuffs on, the turtle suit and all that stuff.
He was completely shackled.
Yeah, they were surrounding him.
The rumor that I've heard, I've tried to look it up and I can't find any hard evidence, but his bond was set at $20 million.
Yep.
And I don't know how it is in your state, but in Ohio, you got to pay 10% of it to get out, which is $2 million. Now, I've heard rumors that some of his family is, I don't know if they're rich or what,
are trying to get him out?
Yes. Now, I've heard rumors that he's already out. And I know the news won't cover that because if they do, then this guy's a goner.
I'm going to look it up.
I tried to look it up and find it, but I couldn't find anything. I don't know if people are just making up stories for like just something to talk about or what. But trust me, I know if he did get out, there are many people here who would gladly go to prison to take this dude out.
I don't know if he would I don't know if they would let him out, man.
Yeah, I guess if they put up the $2 million, they'd have to.
Yeah, right. They wouldn't have a choice, right? His name was Dorman, right?
Yeah. And they haven't put his wife name? Chad. And they haven't mentioned his wife's name, I guess, for safety purposes, so I won't say it.
What's the county he's in?
Claremont. Clermont. I mean, you can see this guy had a rap sheet already before this.
Rehabilitation and correction. It doesn't show him but it's still early though, you know.
Right.
It's only what? It's only been like 5 days.
Yeah, it happened on Thursday.
Yeah, they can keep him like tucked away, kind of.
Right.
They do that with people. Like there's certain people they put all over the country in the feds, but this is different because it's a state murder case. I guarantee you, do they have the death penalty there?
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna get it, 100%.
Yeah. If this doesn't get the death penalty, nothing should.
Yeah, this calls for the death penalty.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, aggravated murder to little children. I mean, especially your own kids.
And then you said that the woman was going to break up with him, right? And he said he was going to ruin her life.
Mm-hmm. And I guess for a whole month, now think of a whole month, 30 days, he admitted to this, that he had planned this all out. So every day these kids would wake up, go to him, play with him, laugh with him, whatever. And in the back of his mind, he's going, you're going to be dead soon.
He's like, yeah, like I'm going to hurt your mom.
Just 5 days.
Because she didn't want to be with him.
Yeah. From what you hear, you could always hear him being loud with her, aggressive.
Oh, that people have said that they could hear him like yelling in the house and things.
Yeah.
Do people have any stories about him from around town? Did they hear anything like he's abusive or anything like that?
Well, he actually has a domestic charge on his record. I guess he choked his own dad out, and he never went to jail for it because his dad never showed up to court or something like that. Or I don't know which one it was, but one of them didn't show up to court, so they dismissed the case. But it's still in his record.
How many people live in that house with him?
It was him, his wife, and then his 3 sons, and then his daughter was part-time.
And that's it. No other grown-ups.
Nope.
Oh, man. So there was no one really to intervene if things were to get out of control anyway.
Not unless like a neighbor happened to be out at the exact same time, which I doubt. See, the thing about out here too is you hear gunshots all the time because people hunt a lot.
It's a rural area, right?
Right. People are like, even at the softball fields, we hear gunshots all the time. We don't think nothing of it. So if you hear them, you're just like, oh, someone's hunting. You're not thinking someone's just got murdered until the daughter came running out screaming.
Fucking terrible, man. This is like as bad as it gets.
And I think one of the sickest parts is 5 days before it happened, this guy changes his Facebook profile to his 3 sons.
No.
And then he does that knowing he's about to kill him.
He really did that?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah. And it's still up there like that?
It should be, unless they took the profile down.
Is it M-A-N or M-E-N?
A. Doerman.
Yeah, it's still there, man.
Yeah, they're on the big tire.
It's no, this is a different person. Oh, they're like sitting on a big tire, like the one they used on the news, right?
Yeah.
That's terrible, man. So
is it? Can you still see it?
I see it. Yeah, it's right here. Boom. Here, I'll show you guys. This is the killer's Facebook profile. He changed it 5 days before. And wow, man. And this is what he changed his profile picture to. 3 boys that he murdered. That is crazy. June 11th, he changed the picture.
Yep.
12:30.
It was literally 5 days before. And there's a picture of him and his wife in the photos on the snow thing.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
Wow, man. She's the one that got shot in the hand?
Yep.
He is a piece of work, man.
Like, how could you literally sit there and make your profile pictures, these boys, knowing what you're about to do?
March 1st, he made this the profile picture. How can he do that to these kids, man?
Like I said, that's a lot more than just mental illness. That's evil.
Is it really because the mother wants to leave you? You want to hurt her that bad that you're willing to do this to your own kids?
It's just a relationship. I mean, move on.
I mean, you can get another girl, man.
Right. I'm divorced, and you would never see me ever even thinking about something like that.
I mean, when I was younger, I would never think of no crazy shit like that. But I used to think my life is over when the girl would leave me, you know, when you're young. But, man, to get to this level, this really, something's majorly wrong with this guy.
And then in the case before this, the other case I was mentioning, she did kill herself.
Oh, so there was nothing like, at least this guy is going to catch the punishment for what he did, and he's alive to bear the punishment.
And they'll be able to get answers because they're going to make him talk. Whereas in the other case, she's gone. The only one alive is the daughter, and she can't speak still because of so much brain damage from being shot.
Oh, man. Oh, that was the other one that survived.
Yeah. Right.
That's terrible, man.
So in two cases here, entire families were murdered by their own family members.
Yeah, my town, that 2 police officers were killed going to a house. They were ambushed by a guy. Killed both of them.
This world it's sad.
It really is. People need to if they see signs of stuff like this, they need to do something about it.
And a lot of people were asking, well, if she was going to leave him, why didn't she just do it? Well, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, if you're in a relationship like that, you know it can be hard to leave, especially if you're scared.
Sometimes it's money. It's the money aspect of things. Right. It's all different things. Your living situation, the kids, where do they go? It's a lot.
I think in this situation, there was a lot of she was scared for her life if she left.
Some people just don't know what to do, I think.
Right. And I think that was kind of the case here.
And I think it's probably the case in a lot of places where if the woman leaves, this type of thing is going to happen or something else, you know?
Right.
But I think the women are just scared to even
I do too.
Attempt it. And some of them feel
that's trapped. Where I wish there was an outlet for them to go to or talk to somebody to, if they are going to leave, to get help, like have someone there with them when they do it.
The government doesn't cheat the hangman. Hopefully they're going to feed them to the hangman. They will provide protection for sure. But trust me, them guards, man, they'll be like...
Right, exactly. I'm going to go in this room real quick.
Yeah. And they have to handle their food and everything else. So good luck with that one, man. Your whole life.
If Jeffrey Dahmer can catch karma in prison, so can this guy.
Oh, yeah. And then he's going to be crying like he's the victim. That's the thing. Like, people commit heinous crimes. They go to prison, and then they want to be the victim.
That's why when I saw the court case where he starts crying when they're reading off what happened.
Oh, yeah. Let's play that video.
He shouldn't have been allowed to cry.
No, man. It's just insane that someone would do this type of shit. Let's see. Here's the arrest video. Fair use chat news programs. Fair use.
Where's he at?
Now, right here, they have no idea what they're coming up to.
Get him right here. Right here. You got him on the porch.
We've asked not to ask
They see him.
And they see the rifles right there too.
Walk towards us. Stand up with your hands up. Stand up now.
Yeah, you can see he's sitting on the steps where I showed in that video.
I know, but we can't. First aid, and he's not complying. You know he's a shooter. Shoot him.
Over
if he's the shooter, shoot him. Did you hear him?
First. We ain't no good if we ain't.
Well, as soon as rewind.
You gotta find cover first.
They said if he's the shooter, shoot him. Watch.
Mm-hmm. But we can't. First aid, and he's not complying. You know he's a shooter. Shoot him.
They said if he's not complying, if he's the shooter, shoot him.
They were probably hoping he would reach for that rifle.
Man, they should have handled him.
Right there where that bus is across the streets where I took the video.
But I think that it's too good for him, man. Him getting his life ended quickly is too good. He needs to endure some
suffering.
Yeah, he needs that.
You gotta find cover first. We ain't no good if we ain't safe or so.
Oh yeah, remember the other guy that killed his daughters and put him in the oil pump house? And the wife, remember that one?
Chris Watts.
Yep, Chris Watts.
This is very much like that.
And then
we see him.
There's girls out there that like that guy, man.
We're gonna approach from this side. We got cover. Right here.
6 number 29 and 63 attack that.
Now they don't see anything yet.
Show us your fucking hands now.
They see him.
Stand up. Stand up.
Now see.
Yeah.
Stand up. Stand up now. Stand up. Stand the fuck up. Get your hands up here.
Right there on his back, I see the blood right there.
Yeah. Yep.
There's guys confirmed that there's people that need first aid, and that's the shooter. He's not complying. They need to take care of the victims. They have to shoot him and shoot him. Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody.
I ain't trying to hurt nobody.
We're 21.
He said I'm completely sober.
I did drugs real quick, but I don't do drugs now. I'm sober. I'm not trying to fight you. 63.
Get your butt inside. Yellen, get your butt inside.
We on primary?
That's him yelling at the dog, right?
Yeah. And that's the wife he was screaming.
63, we're 21. Have EMS respond over here.
You're clear, they're being advised.
Terrible, man.
Robert 34, just started mass casualty response.
63, do you want
Yeah, directly across the street is where I took that video, so I'll be looking right at where the body is.
We're right in the front yard.
Yeah, right where the driveway is to the
left of it.
Right to the left of the driveway is where that tent is with the teddy bears and stuff, right?
Yep.
What are you doing, man?
Hey, pretty cocky all man. Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
You got anything on you?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it.
See, he shows no emotion at all.
Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him. He won't bite you.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm gonna get you here.
I ain't running away. You can do whatever you want.
It's uncomfortable. You can see the blood real good there.
Yeah. Damn, man. Watch when he gets to the car. He's like, shut up.
You the only one else inside the house?
What?
You the only one else inside the house?
Yeah.
Sit down right here.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in the cage.
Listen, look.
Wow, man. Crazy. Now, we're gonna check out the him in court. All right, here's him in court. And we'll see. You saw his reaction there, right? How he was really calm and no emotion at all. He said, I'm sober. I'm sober. It's wild, man. Now look at his reaction in court. It's a little different. He had time to think about what he did.
Only word that really described what we heard today. Now, Chad Dorman, like you said, went in front of a judge here at the Claremont County Municipal Court around 10 this morning. Now, prosecutors say that this is the worst crime that they have ever seen, and they push to make sure that Dorman will not be able to get out of jail anytime soon. So they requested a $20 million bond, which the judge did grant. Now, that $20 million bond, the prosecutors say, is the most that they know of in Claremont County history. I do want to let you listen to what the prosecutor had to say in court, but again, we do want to warn you that what you are about to listen to is very hard to hear and contains some truly horrific descriptions about what happened.
Trauma that this man has inflicted on his family, the community, law enforcement, first responders, and all of the rest of us who have any idea what's going on here is unspeakable. There's been a full admission in this case, Judge. The case is still new. We're still discovering facts. But the evil horror of what we know is impossible to process. In an act of just incomprehensible cruelty, the father that stands before you lined up his 3 young boys, and he executed them in his own home with a rifle. They were ages 3, 4, and 7, Judge. In an act of desperation to save her children, the mother at some point grabbed the gun that father was wielding to attempt to protect them. We know that one of the boys was able to flee into a field near the home. And again, we know from his admission, father hunted that boy down, drug him back to the property, and executed him in front of witnesses.
Here comes the tears.
Yeah.
Mother was shot through the hand in her attempt to protect her children. Judge, I asked the court in setting this bond to just begin to imagine their fear. This was the man that every day they woke up looking to for protection, love, guidance in all things. Man they trust more than any other person on earth. Person they rely upon to keep them safe from harm. He was their world, he was their guardian, and he executed them in cold blood. We know that from his admission.
Now, here's a look at what happened according to investigators. The children's mother called 911 around 4:15 yesterday afternoon. She told dispatchers that, quote, her babies had been shot. Now, this all, when they arrived, the sheriff's deputies made contact with Dorman, who was actually just sitting outside of the home, and then arrested him. Now, the boy's 34-year-old mother, she had been shot in the hand, like you heard the prosecutor said, and was also outside the house. Now, court documents say that Dorman confessed to planning and carrying out the deaths of these victims for several months. Now, I've covered a lot of murder cases in my time as a journalist over the past 15 years. And I must say that the details in this case are just absolutely horrific. And it's not often that you see a prosecutor get choked up like we did in the courtroom this morning. Now, Dorman will be held on that $20 million bond, and he did not enter a plea today, despite what you heard there, investigators saying that he has admitted to these killings.
No training of any kind prepares you for this. It's easy to forget that these are men and women with families, children, feelings, emotions. They're not some automaton performing a delegated function. They're people. They were required to give CPR to gunshot children, 3, 4, and 7-year-old children. They held these boys in their arms, knowing there was nothing they could do to save them. How long do those scars last?
Parents in the community reacted to the news of the shooting last night as well.
I have 9, 7, 3, and a newborn. There is nothing my kids have ever done or could ever do that would make me want to take their life.
Right.
They make me mad on a daily basis. That's every parent on the planet. If you don't have a kid, you'll understand one day. Kids drive you nuts. They push your buttons, but there's nothing they could ever do to make me want to shoot them. Nothing.
I just seen the kids out playing yesterday. Like the little boy was riding his go-kart like he does all the time. They were good kids. He was just a very angry man. Like he just was always yelling at his wife and his kids, and you just really don't pay no attention to stuff like that. And then this happens.
They just should not be cut down like that. They should not. No father should ever even think about doing that to their children.
Crazy, man. Like,
no matter how many times I watch that, it doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't. When you think of a situation like this, just terrible, fucking terrible. Hopefully they can start healing from all this. The community needs to come together and
we have a lot.
You guys they're probably gonna have a remembrance thing for these boys, right?
Yeah, they've already had vigils at numerous churches here in New Richmond.
Yeah.
There was a GoFundMe set up for the mom for the funerals.
Yeah, I'll put a link for the GoFundMe in the description.
I think
of this video.
the goal was like 25,000, and it's well over 50 already. Oh no, wait, I take that back. It's over 100 now.
It's insane, man.
And there's people worldwide who know about this story.
It's as bad as it comes, man. You know?
I can't think of how it could get worse.
No, I really can't.
Especially with kids involved.
Hopefully they can start healing from this. And
it's going to take a long time.
Definitely. People gotta, I don't know, be more vigilant what's going on. Maybe if you see abuse going on, maybe report it or something.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. But I appreciate you taking the time coming on my show.
No problem.
Man. And I'll put a link for your TikTok in the description of this video.
Okay,
Put a link for the GoFundMe. You guys can help the mother of the victims in this case. And I appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
Hey, you too.
If you guys like this, definitely. If you guys like this type of content, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Till next time. Peace.